Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's going on, everybody? I'm going to welcome you back. And today, what are we talking about? We are talking about, is what you have enough? This is a question that I think many of us have maybe thought of at some point, or many of us have dealt with some things in our life where we struggled or wondered, man, am I enough to do what it is that I'm trying to do? Do I have to get more? Do I have to get more? Do I have to get more? And man, we're going to talk about this today because I think it's super helpful for me, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you. So let's jump right into this. I was thinking about this topic as I was preparing, a few minutes ago. I'm always reading Proverbs. I'm always, looking at the Word of God, just finding new ways to do what the Word says. And I don't know, it just hit me that, a lot of times we somehow don't think that we're ready. We somehow don't think that we're ready. I just want you to think about this for yourself. Because I asked you, do you feel like you're ready for like something else? Like, say, for instance, you're saying to yourself, hey, I would like to go here. I like to do this. I would like to be able to be successful at that. Are you ready? Are you ready right now? So a lot of times we have a desire to go forward. We have a desire to actually say to ourselves, oh my goodness, that's what I desire. But then what happens is we start looking at him and says, man, that looks bigger than me. Yeah. Doesn't look like I have the capability for that. When God introduced me to myself, God introduced me to myself. And in introducing me to myself, what he did was he just had a conversation about doing something. He says, hey, I think you should start, saying a little bit more about some things. I'm like, well, what things? Well, I think you like getting motivated. That was the first thing. You like getting motivated, so you should just start talking about some motivational stuff. And I'm like, start talking about motivational stuff. I said, well, the motivational people, they're pretty good at it. I'm not good at it. Is this something that I should do? God's like, well, let me introduce you to somebody. See the guy over there? That guy can do it. Really? That guy can do it. He looks like me. He has a face like me. He's tall like me. He's built like me. And that's me over there. He says, well, that's the guy I know. So that guy over there is pretty good at it. And so God introduced me to myself. And it was interesting because I'm gonna tell you, it was a struggle. Like I could not do a podcast. Because there's almost every day there's a reluctance. Almost every day there's a reluctance to want to come on camera. I remember back then I didn't come on camera. I would just, I just had a microphone. I just had a phone to talk to, or I had one of these microphones, these Yeti mics that I would just talk to. And I'd just be talking because I was like, nobody can see my face. They can't see what I'm doing. Sometimes I would do it and I'd be driving. And it was cool because I was just like, well, nobody sees me anyway. So it's just kind of cool. So I feel like I'm talking to myself. See, at the end of the day, many times when we get introduced to new ideas, and typically a new idea, what I've discovered these days, it's more of a directive. It's like, hey, do that. And when we get introduced to these ideas, we tend to like, I don't think that's me. I'm sure somebody out there probably said that when they got an idea, it felt like a good idea. It felt like something they should do, but immediately it was just like, I don't know if that's me. I don't know if I'm capable of that. Man, you know what? I feel it, but you know what? Maybe I'll just kind of give that up. Maybe this isn't the season for that. You know what I've discovered about seasons is this. It's always time. I'm gonna say it again. It's always time. It's always time to move. So whenever we feel like, oh, I shouldn't do anything, I don't know if I don't like that's something you should vet out for yourself. But I don't know that that's true. Like just in my own case, I don't know that that's true. I don't know that I should sit and do nothing, because by sitting and do nothing, the law of inertia is going to make it even harder to move. So then you really got to get a kick in the behind, and it's just like, well, so you're telling me, and I'm saying, well, if I feel like I'm not enough, which many of us have, and I've been positioned for something new to start moving towards something that I think I like that. You're telling me that even though I don't know how to do it, I should start? Yep. I had the same conversation with my student Brittany, and we had this conversation about getting started just before we got started. She says, "Well, we should put this off until a few weeks, this, that, and the third. I've got things." I said, "That's not the way you should be thinking about your life. See, if we're thinking about our life in a way that we're putting our life off, think about that. Even though, think of this, even though you feel like you're not enough. See, when God introduced me to myself, he showed me I was enough. He just now I know I get it. Like many of us may not be saying, well, I don't remember God introducing me to myself. I don't remember having that conversation with God. Well, you know what? What I've discovered in that whole process, when you're going through something, you don't see it. Did you hear that? When you're going through something, you don't see what's happening until you can look back. Think about seasons. Seasons, when you go through a season, you can't see anything except all the stuff happening. But it's when you come out of the season, you look back and say, "Oh, whoa, look at that. Look at what I can learn now." That's why I'm sharing this with you, because even though you may not be saying, well, God's not having that conversation with me, I'm telling you, he is. God's having that conversation. It's just that you can't see it right now. When you start, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is that you have to start. So if there's something you have to start, or something you have to continue, or something you have to step into, right? Because you may be feeling like that thing is bigger than you. I can guarantee you, like I was on my family room yesterday, group of people, kingdom entrepreneurs, everybody's moving in their kingdom assignments. That's just as like, what I had to step into is the idea that I can help thousands of people. That's just like go from singular, small numbers to I can help thousands of people. Not that I can do it, it's just that I know that I'm enough. I know that what God has placed in me is something so powerful that when he introduced me to it, I did not see it. He's introducing me to myself, saying, "Hey, look who just showed up." And he's like, "Hey, look at this guy." I'm like, "Well, he looks like me. He talks like me. He sounds like me. He's built like me. That's me." Have you ever second guessed? Seriously, have you ever second guessed things in your life that show up that seem a bit weird? Have you ever second guessed these things? Good morning, Carol. Listen, second guessing those things is, look, in the season that you're in, what happens is everything gets blurry. I'm gonna tell you right now, I can see so clear after 5 years. After 5 years of going through something, when I look back over those 5 years, I can see the hand of God operating. See, I'm here today to tell you, even if you don't see the hand of God is there. He's there. See, I'm a representation of what the hand of God can do for somebody. And I'm now that person. He's helping me to be a guide so that people can move towards, hey, I am enough. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I must do all things. I will do all things. I will do whatever it takes to get to where it is that he said I should be. Quoting Bishop Wayne Malcolm, he said this: God has already done everything in you. God has already said everything in you, what he's ever going to say to you. Say that one more time so I can get it clear. God has already said everything in you. God has already said everything in you, what he's ever going to say to you. I think that's it. Something like that. So imagine God has already spoken your life. He's already done it. He's already put out there what's good. He's already said what you'll do. He already knows your capacity. He already knows what your assignment is. He knows what your absolute dominion is. He knows who you are. He already said that. He doesn't have to come back and say it. It's your job today to realize that when God gave you this fingerprint, that was the first clue. I am different. I have something unique that no one else has. Listen, at the end of the day, the reason why you and I have had problems is because they've stuck you through a manufacturing plant. They put you in this thing called indoctrination programs. Those indoctrination programs want everybody to come out the same. The reason why you're struggling or having problems with your mindset, trying to figure out who you are, realizing that you're not knowing that you have enough right now to do everything you need to do, is because you've been indoctrinated. And through that indoctrination, even though there's church and there's religion and the religion is there, but the religion can't help you. The religion was not made for that. Yes, I know I'm saying it. The religion was not made for that. The religion was just a part of the system of indoctrination. Oh man, I know I'm speaking to somebody. Hopefully somebody's hearing. Listen, religion was made in the system of indoctrination to keep you right where you need to be, right where they need you to be. So if we're going to come out and be more, if we're going to come out and realize that we are enough, then the first step is realizing that even though I can't see it, like this is the first step. I'm not going to give you any more steps today. Even though I can't see it, I'm moving today, not tomorrow. Today, you get a decision, make it today, right? I talk about that on Monday. Monday, I said you got to get good at making decisions. That's one of the habits that has to be formed when you make the decisions. Some decisions you make slower, but some, when you understand the direction that you're going, then it's like, oh, I can easily say no to that, or I can easily say yes to that. So if you were trying to figure out how to move forward today, I'm giving you permission today to realize just to move forward. Take your foot and put it in front of the other. Take your hand and move it forward. Take your body and press into whatever it is you got to press into. You're enough. And if you don't know that you're enough, don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Don't question it. Just know. Start saying, I'm enough. I have everything I need right now to move forward. Now, one last thing. I'm going to let you go. Here's the last thing I'm going to say. Yes, there are skills that have to be developed along the way, but those skills come as a result of moving. Frequency, the number of times you do something that, like a person, the baby would not be able to walk unless they tested it and tested it and tested it and tested it until one day they could stand straight up and walk. But they had to keep falling down. They had to crawl. They had to hurt themselves. But they got up every time over and over again because they knew where they were going. They said, I'm just going to walk today. I'm going to walk today is what the baby said. If you ever seen a baby trying to walk, they're like, well, I'm going to try this thing. I see y'all walking. I'm going to just do it. So if you see me today, I'm moving forward. It doesn't matter what I don't see. It's what I do see that matters. So whatever you can see, move towards that today. Find one action to do and do it. Tomorrow, wake up, find another action or the same action and do it again. That's probably the best method. Do the same action over and over. Because if you do that same action over and over, what you'll build is confidence. That confidence will help you to know, wow, I can do that thing. Once you've mastered it, then you can move on to something else. So guys, I appreciate you. I love you. I hope you got value from this program today. If you did, I appreciate those. Carol, she's saying she's going to move today. Yes, I need to move today is what Carol said. And look, at the end of the day, guys, it's just take one step. Just take the next best step. That's it. Can't take all the steps, just the next best step. So I appreciate you. I love you. I'm Jay, the Healthy Accountant. Make sure you share this across Facebook or wherever you're watching it. God bless you, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.